All right, all right. Apparently, so there's something wrong with the Facebook stream. That's what we figured out.
So just Facebook?
No, well, no, we're live right now, and we're live on
Okay.
YouTube, we're live on Twitch, and wherever the hell else we're live at. But just for the record, we tried to go live tonight on Facebook, and I don't know, something's up with Restream or one of our million apps that we get connected and synchronized together. But that's okay. There's always tomorrow. Melissa, if you could, maybe we can share the YouTube feed in the Yellow Jackets fan chat or the Discord. Sometimes that works. We'll do that for people. Yes, you can. Of course you can. You know, I'll try to. Hold on. Let me share this out, everybody. That's what I'm gonna do. We got to keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like we wasn't just gonna throw in the towel. So you're doing Discord, Melissa? Do you know your microphone's not on? This is crazy. This is all type of.
I forgot to turn it on.
Oh my God! You're over there talking to nobody.
Hi.
Hi.
Can
All right.
you hear me?
So yeah, everybody and Nate is here too. But we're gonna get to this whole thing in a second. We're gonna do the sharing thing. So our Facebook friends can find us because otherwise they won't know. Do you have the Instagram Yellow Jackets jump off, or do you want me to do that?
You can do that. I'm doing Discord.
Look at you go. Okay. See everybody. This is what you have to do in a band. You have to have a lot of different confusing apps. Look, I'm going to give an announcement too. William versus the World will not be on Facebook tonight because Facebook is mad at us. So there's one. Melissa's doing Discord. Why do I smell barbecue all of a sudden? Is somebody barbecuing? Oh my God, Melissa. Oh, I couldn't hear my clap sound. I was going to get nervous. You don't all of a sudden smell barbecue? Is that the firehouse?
Mm.
What did you have to eat tonight, Nate?
I didn't eat yet.
What?
Actually, no. I had a sandwich before. No. You know, I don't know. Like, I went to 7-Eleven, and for some reason, it was too hard for them to throw hot dogs on, and it's like been going on for like the past 3 weeks. It's like, hello, people are coming in here after work. Like, come on.
7-Eleven's been feeding people for years. Do you like the what do they call those things? The popular taquitos. Do you eat those?
I've had them before.
It's a popular
Yeah.
that's a popular rock and roll snack.
Yeah.
William
Those are.
Oh shit. William versus the World will not be on Facebook tonight because Facebook is broken.
Oh wow.
Okay. So there you go. That handles that. I was handling business. Go ahead. You were saying, Nate,
No.
about the taquito.
Yeah. I mean, I've had them before. I mean, they're pretty good. Yeah. No, you just reminded me. Strangely enough, I didn't even know this because we were like, infants or whatever. But I decided to put on like a YouTube thing of like the Fat Albert Halloween, and they're like, Logan's Run will not be on tonight. I'm like, they had a Logan's Run TV show back then too.
You know what? I haven't watched cable since State Prison.
Yeah, I know you guys. I know that you're like, not
The
TV
last
people,
no, I'm
but-
serious. The last time I ever seen a TV show, I was in my 20s. I was in state prison, and after I watched so much TV in prison, I promised to never do it again. People ask me about like Game of Thrones and shit. I've never seen it in my life.
Oh no, that I understand.
Do you have a
This
TV
was like-
show that you watch now that's fun for you? What do you like now?
Yes.
What is it? What's the big thing? I wouldn't know.
Let me see. I am a big fan of Cobra Kai, and that's actually a tie-in with Bravo Fest. A little
Okay.
bit.
Okay, no, that's actually a good place to start. Um,
Yeah.
so I can introduce everyone to you. I want to give it a moment,
Sure.
So I've known you for quite some time. Everybody, this is my friend Nate from Embalg. He's in a fantastic band. I'm gonna let him first introduce himself and he's in his band, and let y'all know a little bit about him and his band and where they can be found. And then after some time, we're going to get into this Bravo thing, this Bravo Fest thing, and I'll ask him a few questions about that. But first, Nate, please introduce yourself, my brother. Tell them who you are, how we met, the whole business. I'm going to bring up Bravo Fest on the screen behind me. Please introduce yourself. 25 years is a long time to be in a band. Oh, wait a minute. So hold on. Let me get this right. You had a band member text you right now in the middle of the program and asks you not to ramble on during the podcast. Oh, that's funny. So that's Ken. All right. Shout out to Ken. My band members tell me not to ramble on. So everybody's got a rambler in their band. You've been a band for 25 years. Is Ken in the band with you? Okay, well, that's all right. The original members are the guys that quit. Fuck them. So when people say, "Oh, they're not an original member," I usually respond with, "Oh, so they're not the original quitters." Oh, the original members are the guys that quit before you did. They threw in the fucking towel before it got good. I'm just getting you in trouble. Now, shout out to the old members of MBalg. Now, how many members have you guys had? That's like asking sepsis. Is that what you were about to say? No, I'm just playing. Right. It's more like how many condoms do you have on you? No, I know. Right. That's paradoxal.
People that have been in. I mean, we've had, but we.
Sounds like you're in a band.
Exactly.
Sounds like you're in a band in New England. You've got guys with 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That means That means you are in an original, authentic New England heavy metal band, and you know a thing or two. And out of all the members in 25 years, you haven't thrown in the towel, have you?
No, it's just because this is honestly every time there's an obstacle, I say this to myself. I'm like, hey, you're trying to put up a road.
Have you written a song about any pathetic losers that you've come across throughout your career in rock and roll? Do you have any diss tracks? Right on. So you're just expressing yourself. It's not like you're publishing. You're So, right, it's inspired by your experiences. I tell you, rock and roll and blues, it comes a lot from pain. I don't know if people know that. Just like comedy, you know what I mean? Like, when people laugh at comedians, a lot of the times we're dealing and we're managing anger and pain, And right, I think people miss that a lot of times. In order to write great music, and you hear about writer's block. I tell a lot of my younger students when they come to me and they'll say, "Hey, Will, I got writer's block." I said, "No, you don't. You have living's block. You haven't lived long enough. You just haven't lived. You got to live a little bit more." And I usually warn them, "You haven't gone through enough pain yet, son. You trust me. Once you get your ass kicked a couple times, you'll write a good fucking tune. You got enough people walk out of your life, you get enough people quit on you, you'll write some fucking music. You ever had a health problem or had somebody die, you'll write some music. What's your music about, Nate? What do you like? What do you like to write about? What do you, what's fun? What is most fun for you to write about? Mm-hmm. Mm. Can I ask you an offbeat? I need to ask you a question. Um, so I've known you for a handful of years, you know, and one thing I can't. People always ask me, is it all right if they call me Will? And I usually say yes. But I actually I prefer, for all of you out there, you're not gonna hurt my feelings, but I prefer William. I really do. And you know, nobody has to change anything. Melissa calls me Will, okay? To be real with you, so just it's okay. But people ask, you know, they ask you, what do you prefer? And I usually tell everybody William. But I say this because I'm adopted, and I wasn't born William. I wasn't born who I am. I was somebody else at one point. So I understand the meaning of a title. And when Melissa came up with this band, she said she wanted a name that was Google searchable. And that's how we came up with the name Sepsis. It doesn't mean anything. There's no backstory to it. I know that's really disappointing, but it makes me think of your name, Mbalg, okay? And I remember years ago, and still to this day, I struggle with this name. Do you get a lot of people that make fun of your name like they make fun of Sepsis? I mean, like, we get stepkids and septics and sepsis and stepsister. We get the, being in a metal band, you got to grow. You got to have a little bit of you got to have thick skin. You got to know how to take a punch. You got to know how to let stuff roll off, because it's like silly names like Sepsis and I don't know, Anthrax and all this kind of crazy names, right? Do you get made fun of, or do people screw up your name as much as I do?
Sorry for interrupting, but Rockabilly here says that he can't hear Nate.
He can't hear Nate? We lost Nate.
Can anyone else hear him in the chat?
I'm hearing him great. Oh my God, they can't hear Nate. What the fuck? Oh my God, it's showing his That's so disappointing.
It pops up and everything. I can't hear.
And it's
you
popping
guys
up
'cause I
too,
don't
like
know
it's
what's
showing
happening.
on the screen. It's showing your name popping up, so it's not anything on my end. That's really disappointing. Wow,
You guys can't hear Nate.
they can't hear him. This is
how-
the first time we've ever done this.
How do I fix this?
Wow.
Audio.
Wait a minute. What if I go back to this? Was it this one? How about now? Can you talk now?
Hello?
Can you guys
Yeah,
hear him now?
I don't think punching the computer is gonna help.
Who just
guys.
said punch the computer? Rockabilly said punch the computer. Oh my God! It says now he's good.
Why is
Oh,
this?
Because right here, bro. That's why. Because of this thing. Look. See, we need this down here.
What is it? Speakers?
Yes, that's a problem.
Microphone, speakers.
Yes.
These are both there.
Oh my
So when you
goodness.
go to computer screen.
Oh my goodness. Hold on, everybody. Oh my goodness. In the meantime, can everybody tell me where to start off again? I'm fucking dead right now.
I'm
Oh
so
my God. What was
sorry.
Nate saying before? Does anybody know what Nate was saying? I'm fucking so sorry.
All right, Nate.
Fuck!
Say something real quick.
I know.
Okay.
Now they're like, I can barely hear Melissa. Well, Melissa doesn't want to be heard right now.
I mean, my mic's on though.
Yeah, but you don't have nothing going on.
Okay, I just have Ken. What the hell is this?
I don't know.
Ken is telling me that he can hear me now.
Well, no, right. It should be good now.
Okay, yeah.
See, it's very
always
important for
something.
me to have you
Oh, now we're
speaking
working.
with the Charlie Bravo's logo in back. So when I was just to let everybody know what happened. Oh my God! There's several screens and layers of these fucking things, right? And
Okay.
every time that I change a screen, there is a whole bunch of audio and video inserts.
Oh, so it wasn't me on the
Let's
headphones.
No,
hope
it's
it
not
works.
you.
It was
Are
like,
we good,
It's not
guys?
you.
Are we good?
Look at this. ICG for Life Immaculate Connection Gaming is here too. That's
okay, cool.
okay. Here we go.
Uh,
I think everything works. Can anybody bring us back to speed? Nate, can you start? So what was it like being born? You want to just start there? No, I'm just kidding. But
that I
don't
don't
know-
remember, but
I don't
all right,
know where these.
ironically,
Yes.
and
I'll
you-
just ask you the same
I know that
question.
you know who this character is, but I remember being in that little bouncy thing that, like, when you're a toddler, you can like jump up and stuff. I remember that,
Yes.
and I remember putting stickers on the TV, and my uncle telling me, like,
And then you go into
some
the hospital.
some psychological way of, like, getting me not to do it. But there was another thing. I remember eating a Kraft single and then walking into my grandmother's living room and seeing Tattoo on TV from Fantasy Island. And
You don't ever get writer's block, do you?
I do sometimes. It's just like it
Okay.
comes in dribs and drabs. Well, like, where you have stuff. I'm like, I have all this material and everything, but it's just
So
I have some stuff we've been trying to work on for, like, we haven't released anything in a couple years, but I have ideas.
okay.
I have stuff. We might be changing the sound a little bit, but all the stuff that's been going on in the world with everybody focusing on diversity and being puppets and all this other stuff, it's just like that's something to write about and stuff. It's just like I did one line I put up was
how many people are playing in the band now? Like going to Charlie Bravo's this week. How many people?
we
you bringing
have
up there?
3 people.
Yeah.
We have Ken, myself,
Mhm.
and we have a fill-in who used to play drums for us at one point, by the way.
So we know all your
Sean.
material.
Yeah, Sean
good.
from Sinfinity. Yeah,
Oh
I mean
my
he's just
God, for real?
yeah. Yo, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh,
Wait a
because he
minute,
played
Sean?
bass.
The vocalist from Sinfinity plays drums in your band?
He used to.
Holy shit!
He. Oh yeah, I have pictures and everything.
What?
He played from
My mind is
2014
blown.
to about 2015
Okay,
or so.
Can I tell you a Sean Sinfinity story real quick?
Sure.
Dude. So, you know how bands have props, like Alice Cooper had the cane. Some bands have masks. I would even say like Melissa's got the braids and all of that. It's almost like an extension. Ba-doop boom. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't really have any props. I'm not really a prop guy. And plus I play guitar, right? So that's like my prop. But one year, it was after I played with you at Bravo Fest.
Yeah.
I had met up and I had seen Sean and I had seen Sinfinity play. And I noticed that he had a headset and he was singing and doing vocals through a headset. And I had never seen anybody in the local or regional Northeast metal scene carry that so well. And after he got off the stage, I didn't know him very well at the time, but after I got off stage, I always had a mic stand my entire life singing with Melissa. And after watching Sean, I decided to take the transition. And ever since I met up with Sean from Sinfinity, I have been wearing a wireless microphone headset ever since. And
That's awesome.
Yes, and every time people try to give me credit for it, I say, you fucking stop it. You fucking stop giving me credit. You need to go give credit to Sean from Sinfinity because this shit wasn't my idea. Every time people catch me coming off stage and they go, oh my God, Will, that's great. I didn't realize that you had the headset on until the show started, and now I can't imagine you without the headset now, and I can't take
Yeah.
any fucking credit because it's Sean that I got the idea from. I completely took his idea. I have nothing to do with it. There you have
Oh
it.
yeah, well, yeah, it's a good idea. I mean,
So
um,
you were saying,
uh,
and now he's playing drums in your band this week?
oh no, I'm sorry. From 2014 to 2015, he played drums for us.
And he was still in.
Um,
That's a lot of band.
Yeah, he was
A
playing
hell of a.
in some. Well, actually, I don't know if I should get into the story, but it's like whatever. He was playing with somebody else.
Everybody, should I mute Nate? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, he was playing with somebody else who was like just actually this guy's kind of like the antithesis of
I don't know what that word
what
means. I'm black.
the,
I have
like.
no clue. Antithesis. That sounds like something you get at the doctor's.
Well, this is probably like the first time I've used that word, to be honest with you. The epitome, if you will,
Oh, okay. All right.
of why pay to play doesn't work. So this guy,
He said
bribe.
antithesis. I said, hold on a second. I need to call my parole officer.
It just means like the opposite.
I'm just
Yeah,
playing with
I
you, bro.
think. Yeah. So he was just like he was playing with this one band, and the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, you're in the middle of recording with Imbolg, but I'll buy you something if you leave." And
Wait a
like
minute. Run
now
that back. Hold on. Run that back. Wait a minute. What?
sorry,
You got to bring me
Sorry
back
about
on that one because I tried to ride the horse. So you were at a show, and you gotta let me set the stage. You were at a show with your homies and everybody else, or was it just you?
oh no, we weren't at a show. This was like done privately.
Oh my God! I thought we was at the venue. Okay, so you guys are in a private setting. I need to know the imagery.
Oh no, well no, I wasn't even there. There was this is another band that
Oh Christ!
we were Sean was working with,
Oh, okay. All right.
and that he agreed to work with, and this
Understood.
guy was like oh well, if you quit Imbolg in the middle of recording an
He
album,
wanted Sean to quit your band?
yeah.
No.
Well, he took the bribe, but you know what? He's using that thing that he was bought as a bribe this week in the Bravo Fest. So, I mean, and that guy had a mullet up until a couple years ago, and that's another topic. I'm
Okay,
kind of
all
like
right.
passionate about that.
Okay.
And this was interesting. They went to California to pay to play at the Whiskey A Go Go.
Mhm.
And he cut off his mullet after it. I'm like, there's got to be
Oh.
some strange coincidence.
So
yeah, I mean,
how do you feel
yeah.
about that? How do you feel about that? Because I know a lot of New England bands have taken the trek, and from what I understand, the whiskey is pay to play for everybody. I mean, unless you're
yeah, I've
unless you're
talked to
fucking
people.
Disturbed or something. But I mean, like, how do you feel about that? I mean, have you ever had, or would you ever consider paying to play for an opportunity? How about you? Is there a band that you'd pay? Is there anything worth it enough? Is there an opportunity where you would, I don't know, cut your mullet?
I don't think he had to cut the mullet, but
Okay.
I see where you're going with. It's a
Right. Yes.
euphemism at this
I don't know
point,
what
but
that
yeah.
means. I got a police record.
It's
Euphemism,
like,
isn't that when they kill cats
okay,
and shit?
Okay, here's the simplest one.
Isn't that euthanism? That's when they kill cats.
Euphemism. You know what the term wax the carrot means?
Wax the carrot. That sounds well.
That's a euphemism.
And well, let me tell you something. Growing up in the boys' home, you didn't want to get caught ever waxing the carrot. Let me put it to you that
exactly,
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
you don't want to get caught with your hands in the cookie jar, as they say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See, that's
Never rub another man's rhubarb. Huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
one
exactly.
one in the hand is better than two in the bush.
Yeah. Well.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
No, I dig it.
exactly.
I dig it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what happened was, see, there's two different things. There's a buy-on,
Right.
which is what a lot of the up-and-coming bands, do. Like, for example, I'm not 100% sure, but
Yes.
Ozzy having Metallica on the Master of Puppets tour. I think that was a buy-on, but that's like, hey,
I'm so
established.
glad you said this. A lot of people don't know that, what you just said. You just said some
I'm
industry
assuming.
insider stuff, man. No, but it's true. A lot of people just assume, man, fuck pay to play, but they don't really realize that even big bands, they spend a lot of money to get their ideal and preferred performance slots. I don't think people really
Yeah,
I
I
don't,
mean,
I mean
a
big
deal is
bands,
venture capital.
right, big bands, they absolutely buy in, okay, or buy on to strategic performance slots, of course.
Yeah, I mean, this other thing is just kind of sort of like, okay, here's the money, and I've seen it before. It's just like, we don't care. Here, you're here to sell tickets, and it's like, well, what about our needs? I mean, we've had guarantees, and I had some people like from New England contacting me and going, "Oh, you'd have to sell tickets." I'm like, "You want me to drive 4 hours to sell tickets? Well, I got to cover my cost of the room." I'm like, "Buddy, if you were from New York, you wouldn't be admitting that that's why you're making people sell tickets." And it's
Right.
like, unfortunately, around here,
Mhm.
it's kind of the promoters. They see you as you're starting out, and they don't understand that you've progressed. I mean, I
Wow.
have
You hear what
friends that have.
everybody just hear what Nate just said? Holy shit. That's a crazy breakthrough. He said that the local and regional and emerging music industry is an industry where the career climb is getting steeper and steeper, where
It
every
is.
time you pass through a checkpoint or level, there's somebody always there to remind you that you're still developing. Into
Well,
what? No, but I
yeah,
get
exactly. Well,
right. Like
totally.
you develop. I do get what you're saying though. There's always this idea that once you've developed, once you got the gear, and once you got the girl, and once you got the video, and once you got the car. There's always this idea that you're constantly developing, and you're always developing and not making a living. I guess that's what I know.
Well, what I mean is like the places that you would start out at.
Rockabilly says you ain't lying about what you're saying. That's what Rockabilly
Oh, of
said.
course not.
He
Well,
knows
what I
a
mean
thing or
is like,
two.
you can start off in your local market,
Yes.
then go on a couple tours, and those promoters aren't following what you're doing, and they're like, "Oh, well, even though you were getting guarantees on the road and all this other stuff, we'll have to have you sell 20 tickets." And I see that as the equivalent of that, like, aunt or uncle that still sees you as a 5-year-old when you could be uh someone with a doctorate degree and your own children and stuff. It's like, come on, like, I'm not that person anymore. It's like, come on, we've set the bar. I mean, we don't need to do that. And honestly, one of the lowest points in our career, we had a couple of things where we were supposed to sell tickets, and I had a couple lethargic band members. Well, I don't know anyone that would go do that. And then other people and even close friends getting mad at me because I asked them to come watch me play. And then someone was like, "Oh, just stop this, okay?" And I'm like, "Well, they're not showing up." And then I had someone saying, "Well, maybe you should do something else with your life." "Oh, yeah, I should do something else because you're too lazy to fucking get off your ass and come and watch me play." "Oh, yeah, you define me." Nobody fucking defines me.
That sounds like a very authentic New England band. Rockabilly says promoters are too busy looking at something else than the bad that is in front of them and seeing the progression of what they've got going. Oh, excuse me. He says the bands. Excuse me. He says promoters are
Yeah,
too
totally.
busy. Yeah, he says promoters are too busy looking at something else than the bands that's in front of them and seeing the progression of. Oh, yeah, that's true. It's kind
Yeah,
of like when
totally.
your kids are growing up. You know what I mean? If you don't mark their height on the wall, you might miss them growing.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're all guilty of that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. I'm so sorry, guys. Somebody said that we're not on Facebook Live tonight. I'm sorry, you guys, that we couldn't make it on Facebook Live. Me and Nate have been trying to do this for a day or two. Could have been something on
Yeah.
my end early. I'm just grateful at this point that that he showed up and that you guys are here rocking with us. So I appreciate you guys so much. I'll try to get it worked out. Hopefully tomorrow. And you guys will. This ain't the last you guys will see of Nate. Of course, we'll be at Charlie
Oh.
Bravo's on the 28th
Yes.
this Saturday. And I'll be going live all day from the event with Nate. You guys will be able to meet him and talk with him when we hang out. But I did want to ask, Nate, is
Sure.
it tough? This is your 5th time doing Bravo Fest.
Bravo Fest. Yeah.
And I, you know, it's my 3rd time doing Swarmy Fest this year. And I just wanted to ask you, I already know that it's difficult to run and organize your own local event. I don't think people can imagine. But now you're doing it. I mean, this is half a decade.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even look at it like that.
This
It's like, wow.
is half
you know.
a decade. That's almost a 10th of a century. Now I'm
Yeah,
really,
if you look
I'm
at
really
it like
fucking
that.
with you now. I know I'm kind of really stretching it. But look,
Yeah, it's wild.
it's like
but
this. You know, every year you have, how many bands did you have the first year?
I think we had about 8, maybe. I'm not
How
sure.
many bands did you have the second year?
About the same, or maybe 10.
How many bands did you have the third year? Now the third year is when we met, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, the owner Van suggested that I hit you up for this.
Really? Holy shit!
Yeah. He see, it's a group effort. It's like, let me
Oh,
try to
wow.
find some people. Let me.
Is that how we know each other? The world is
Yes.
fucking wonderful. Wow. That's
it is a wonderful
fantastic.
world. Yeah.
He's a great guy. And I didn't
Oh,
even
yeah,
know,
totally.
I didn't know that he has another venue in Worcester. Did you know that?
Yeah, we played it.
Really?
Well, it's a Vietnamese restaurant, and it's
Oh, okay.
actually
Yo, there's a lot
Ken-
of restaurants like that. I was just looking the other day, and I was like, man, I wonder if I could do a show here.
the Mint Cafe. Yeah, it was according to Ken, because I've never had this before. This was the best pho soup, I believe,
Yeah, I know what it is.
on the East Coast. Yeah, and because he's been around, he's lived in DC and stuff, and you know, I'm the one who puts up the stuff on Google, like, you know, the reviews and stuff, and I have a whole list of all the stores that Imbolg is carried in nationwide on like just a Google list. And
Understood.
I have visited some of them, but the thing is that, like, yeah, this was great. I mean, like, hey, we got fed Vietnamese food that night, and that was like
wow.
that was a good payment. I mean, honestly, I'm not to trash anyone, but the whiskey, I asked them for food, and like, no, we don't do that. Oh yeah, okay. So you know, I should be chasing you around like you're the prom queen. I mean,
Wait a minute.
don't get me
What do you
wrong.
mean? What do you mean at the whiskey? You said?
Yeah, they were like they have good food, and it's actually
okay.
reasonably
sorry.
priced. But I was like, hey, you know, I want to play here. I know we're coming from New York. Can we just at least get a plate of food? No. It's like, all right, then fine. It's like, it's kind of one of those things on the fence where it's like, you know, my pride is hurt and stuff. And honestly, one of the lowest points of my career was
Oh no.
having to pay out of pocket for tickets so that my friends could have a guarantee. Like this band, Michael Graves. Some of my friends were in that, and actually, a former member of that band is the only one that made fun of the band's name early on. But, you know, in all fairness, I drew him as Snoopy. I called it, his nickname is Bastard. So I drew him as Joe Bastard, like Joe Cool.
I knew a kid named Shit growing up.
Oh yeah,
I
we
knew
had
a kid named Fuck too.
well,
Put
we
them together, there
actually
was a fucking shit.
oh, well, wait, you know, there's a movie called Mid-90s, and the
Oh,
guy's name
gosh.
is Fuck Shit. Because
Listen,
he would do a trick,
Nate,
and they're like, fuck shit.
You know, I'll never shut up. But I just wanted to ask you: do you ever get did you ever get the feeling like you want to throw in the towel and not do a Bravo Fest, or every year are you just ready to
sometimes, just
do it?
people like give me a headache sometimes and whatever. Oh, well, just one side note about the nicknames, because if Sean's listening, and Sean can vouch for me on this, we know a guy that we nicknamed Cock, just because he walked around yelling cock. Like, you know, but anyway, yeah, I mean,
I knew some guys like that. Yeah.
yeah,
I knew some
I
girls
mean,
like
hey,
that,
to each,
too.
Yeah, well,
So
they're allowed to, but
depends on where you are, my brother. Depends on where you are.
yeah, it's true,
There's a
but
time and place for everything.
true.
So,
But yeah, I mean,
this event that's coming up, there's a time and place to do whatever you want because it's not all ages. You know, like when there's kids around, you can't yell fuck, but you can yell fuck at Charlie Bravo's this Saturday.
yes.
What do we got? I got the image. I got the image up on the screen. I'm walking through it. Tell us about what's going on this Saturday. I'm coming up
Okay.
early. I'm gonna be up
They
there
can still
early.
hear me.
Oh yeah, they
You
can still
changed
hear
the
you.
image. Okay, all right. Okay, well, we were gonna have 13 bands. Unfortunately, one wasn't able to make it, but they are a great band. Purple Lung. You know, I give my recommendation. I was listening to them the other day.
Mhm.
They sound great, but they're coming from, I'm assuming, like near Pittsburgh, and that's a hike. I
That's
mean,
a
I
hike.
got to give it to them. Yeah.
Yep. I got the
Um,
flyer pulled up, so as you're talking, people can see the
Yeah,
flyer.
so we you know, basically the reason why I started this, I'm like, you know, this club is a little bit, you know, out of the area and stuff, a little bit far out, but sometimes that's the best places to play, but there's strength in numbers. And it's like, if I'm going to travel that far, why don't I do something to make this like, you know, just benefit the community? So I'm like, hey, Van is a veteran. And my
is this
drummer.
something you thought when you were first making it? I mean, I know this is
Yeah.
your 5th time now. But was that your original thought when you started
Yeah.
Bravo Fest? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I wanted to have it like where, you know, it was a charity thing.
Yep.
And
Multi-purpose. It's not just hang out and party. You wanted to have a mission. You wanted to have a message. I'm with it, brother.
absolutely, yeah, it was just like, you know, hey, some of these charity shows are the best shows. We've done stuff for animal shelters. We did stuff for cancer, the cancer walk. Just, you know, these shows are great. It's enriching. And it's like, all right, you know, hey, sorry, you know, it's just like we're getting fed too. So like that's something. And
Wait a minute. Did you just say you're feeding us this Saturday?
yes, we are. You get in.
Holy shit. Did you guys hear
Yeah.
that? Now look,
Yep.
this is I'm telling you, if at least half of the places that we booked with actually had food on the rider, I mean, I bet you we'd play more places.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Rockabilly just said the same thing. You got to feed the fucking bands, man. What do you guys have
Yeah.
out there? Are you guys doing a barbecue or?
yes. I'm not sure exactly what he's going. Like he's had pulled pork. He's
Oh my
had
God.
you know, hot dogs, hamburgers, macaroni
Who
salad.
who does the cooking in the grocery shopping? Do you and Van go out and hit the
No,
Costco
we
or like?
no. He and I don't because we would argue, and then people would be like, "Hey, guys, you love each other." Like, don't. I'm like, no, it's not like
Why
that.
would he be trying to feed you Vietnamese barbecue?
No,
and-
no, no. I'm just kidding.
I don't
No,
know if you can, I was gonna say I don't know if you can read Vietnamese. That's tough.
Oh no. Actually, this year, the food is being provided for us by one of our sponsors, Price Chopper Supermarkets.
Yo, shout out
Price
to Price
Chopper.
Choppers. What?
/ Market 32. Yeah, it's the same
You're
company.
let me get this right. You're in a band. You're not an event promoter. You're not a booking agent, but you're in a band and you put together a showcase in Putnam, Connecticut this Saturday for Homes for Our Troops, giving a charity for veterans. You managed to feed the bands and
and the people, and the people coming in.
you managed to get these sponsors and feed the bands and your guy in a band from New York.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, early on, I did wear many hats. I have booked for other people. I booked for
But you're
David Bennett.
but you're a performer in this
Yeah.
band. I mean, excuse me, you're a performer
Yes.
in the show.
Yeah, I'm
And
performing.
you organize the show yourself.
Yes,
Nobody
I mean,
helped you
well,
do this.
you know, Van helped a little bit,
Van
and then
helped.
just
No, I feel
other
that.
people.
No, it takes a neighborhood to put on a show. But you are the main guy, man. Without you, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put it that way,
Listen, I
just,
need to feel this way, so when I go and have a hamburger, I know who to thank this Saturday.
Oh yeah, well,
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
thank Van
it's
too for sure.
yeah, I mean, well, hey, there's going to be food, and then actually,
I'm so excited.
with our other sponsor, I discovered them thanks to our radio promoter, Muncie Ritchie,
Okay.
Skateboard Marketing.
Right on.
This radio station played us enough times a week for us to top out at number 9 on the North American college and community radio charts for hard rock and heavy metal in 2020,
Oh, I'm doing
I
the
believe, or
clappy thing.
2019. So I thank Metal Fortress Radio, WMFR.
Yep.
Crank it up. That's their thing. They're going to be coming down, and they're going to be bringing their muscle car mascot, Scully. It's going to be right out in front during the day.
Wow.
People can check it out, take pictures in front of it.
Mascot.
Muscle car mascot. That's what I like to call
mascot. That's exciting.
it. Yeah. So we can do that if we want to. If we find some redhead there, we can reenact the Whitesnake video. Maybe.
Okay.
You know.
It might be a little. I mean, you might. Well, I'll bring an extra pair of clothes.
All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yo, Brandon in the chat says he's got his tickets already. Shout out to Brandon.
Awesome.
In the chat.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
hey.
And Brandon,
And
like
I
you
said before,
yeah, go ahead, brother. 'cause I know
this
you're gonna lay
is
it
the
on.
best deal in live entertainment in the Northeast, if not the East Coast or the country right now. $10 for 13 bands, 12 bands, and food. I mean, like, hey, I don't know what more you could want.
Hey,
You know, it's like-
Ken said, man, Nate's being modest. This event would not have been able to happen if it wasn't for out him and his hard work, and I tend to agree with that, bro.
Well, hey, I mean, it's
I
just
can't wait to
how
introduce you to Brandon, because Brandon's a good friend of mine from the Immaculate
Awesome.
Connection Gaming.
cool.
Community.
Wait, hey,
Yeah.
what up, man? Yeah, we should talk. Because actually, I partly grew up in an arcade. My uncle owned an arcade when I was a kid, and he owned a Chuck E. Cheese. Some kid took a shit in the ball crawl. Well, that's the ball crawl story. Well, it's kind of like a big buildup. Hey, I ever tell you the ball crawl story? But no, I mean, this was in the 80s. So it was like the arcade, and I would go there every Saturday and stuff. It was wild back
now
then.
that might
so
be the least of your problems, but I don't want to tear into that.
I'm just saying. But yeah, that's awesome with the gaming. And the thing is, it's just, you see a need for something, and it's just there. It's like, hey, let's just get something together where we're all working together. I mean, I met Vague Perception. They helped me break into New England years ago because I played at a show, and this guy felt bad that he had to leave to go to work early, and that was Brian Rockgut. God rest his soul. He's no longer with us, but his band is Amber Lynn and Vague Perception and Bill Roger. They're going to be there at Bravo Fest. They've played before, like yourselves. And then he's like, hey, let me come up and have you play. I'll try to get some flyers out. But my son's borrowing the car this weekend.
Yep.
And I actually misspelled the band's name because I was not familiar with the New England accent. I misspelled dark for
you
Doc.
gotta get it right.
So,
to Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get
Doc.
it right.
Yeah. So and he's like, hey, yeah, they're wicked strict at this place. So I heard wicked. Yeah. So
Donovan after the winter.
Yeah,
You gotta say it like
exactly.
that.
Yeah. and we played another charity show with them in Providence, and we saw this band that actually stuck around for our set, and they knew our names, and they were really cool. That's Sunset Creatures. So I'm like, you know what? You guys weren't being douchebags. I'm going to reward you and stay in touch. We want to link you up with some other jam band type bands, and we want to stay
genre. This is like
exactly
a multi. I mean, it's all rock and roll, hard rock and heavy metal, but I would say that your events, you're not going to be bored. It's not like 4 hours of power metal or death metal or rap or one thing or another. You put in a lot of rock, hard rock based and metal based acts together in a room, and you do it well.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of maybe vetting the bands just to get a feel for some of these bands. I mean, there's a bunch of New York bands I can turn you on to when you come here. but like, and they're all chill, like the Muckrakers. I
How
think
many
you know those
out here?
guys.
How many bands are from Connecticut versus other places? Did you get a good mix this year? I
I'm
see
not
you do got
sure, to be
Sunset.
honest with you. I think there's
Um,
at least 3 or 4 Dan Frost.
you got Too
I
Fat to
think.
Fly. You got my
I
buddies
think
who I really love. After the Winter, they're kind of
Winter
a heavy metalcore, deathcore
Metalcore.
style.
Yeah,
That
that's what
yup,
I thought they were.
yup. Donna Vend, and Donna Vend's from my neck of the woods.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Joint Damage.
yup. Joint Damage. And Silent Insanity.
Yes.
And of
Yeah.
course,
Silent
and you
Insanity.
know, I feel like it would be incomplete without Symfinity, right?
Oh yeah, there's symphonic rock. Libricide is
Yo,
more like
the
just
last
regular.
time I saw Symfinity, I was falling to pieces because we were in Charlie's Hill in Lebanon, Maine, and they all day there was bands, and like when they took the stage, everybody woke the fuck up. It was just something they never seen before. Everyone came to attention. It's like turning the lights on when they come in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Good. They
yeah,
deserve it. I mean,
it was
Sean's a
great.
great guy. You know, he's got, it's just like, I vibe with you and him. It's just like people who are willing to go that extra mile. I mean,
Definitely.
I honestly, like, I hear excuses and stuff, and maybe it's just sort of like something I snapped out of. And it's like, that's like, I'm like, hey, you wasted all this time making excuses when you could have been doing something. And like, I've just, it just with anything with the band and stuff. And it's like,
I
oh,
like what you said there
I had to,
earlier. Kind of
yeah.
like, the people spend a lot of times mentioning the people they can't work with, and the places they can't play, and the things that they won't do, and the things that they refuse to do. And it's like, you're right. With a little extra effort, and you don't got to give up on being a cunt. If you want to be miserable, go ahead. But what I'm saying is, with a little extra effort, people could spend a little bit more time working with people who would work with them. I mean, maybe people don't want to work with you, but the folks that do, and the you said something about going the extra mile. I don't think you need to be the favorite. I don't think you need to be the best. I don't think you need to be the best all the time. And I don't think you need all. When it comes to draw, when it comes to money, when it comes to everything, I don't think all the friends isn't the best, right? All sounds nice, but all the girls would be difficult. All the money, it would be hard to manage. All the fans, do you want all the fans? People look at
No, I
Spotify,
mean,
people
well,
say they want all the music, but you don't listen to all. We don't spend all. You can give all the money to a moron and fuck it up. So, sometimes it comes down to quality. And when you're putting
oh,
together a
exactly,
show,
yeah.
you could put 100 people in a room that are drunk and unengaging, and they're not there for a good time, or you could put 50 people in a room and have a great night. And I think that that's important when putting together shows like you're doing. It's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
getting, you said weeding out, but it's like vetting the people that might need a little bit more experience, or maybe there are folks who are more ambitious. Without being the best, it's okay to be 1 or 2% better. It's okay to be 1% more enthusiastic than maybe the next person. And
yeah, well,
it'll give you a
yeah,
fighting
exactly.
chance. It'll give you a fighting chance.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends, and plus, it's like, I'm at a show. I go and I watch other people play and stuff, and my friends and everything. Like, a shout out to some people like the Amatory Murder. They're touring, and my buddy Nimrod, who is a professional wrestler. I think he's watching now / musician. And I went to a show, and I was partying with him, and then I would just run into somebody, and it was just like, oh wow, you have a union patch on. I'm union, and my great grandfather started a union, and we have that little bond, and it's like, oh, I'm Nate, and oh, here, by the way, this is a tip for people. I have my QR code taped to the back of my phone, and I'm like, oh, here, check this out. Boom, it's easy for people. And then, because even if I'm not playing, I'm making a friend, I'm talking to somebody
I love it.
out there, and I can get ideas for stuff. And if somebody tells me an
seem to know,
experience,
and you've tapped
yeah,
into something that we teach a lot about on this program, is how to utilize you know, the full extent of your toolbox, past, present, and future. Whether that be, you know, new technology, or you're never wasting time or wasting a day, or filling up your moments full of complaints. Nate, I see you moving and grooving. Each year, I was sad when we couldn't play last year. I think we were on tour somewhere or whatever. But
Yeah.
I would have in a hot beat. And I'm glad to play again this year.
Oh, thank
We'll be
thank
there
you for coming out.
Saturday. I'm sad because I have to end the program. It's 8:20, but I wanted to thank you first for inviting us on the show, and also including us in that great press work that everybody did. And I'm really excited to play with the bands. For me and
Oh
Melissa
yeah.
and everybody at Sepsis, thank you for inviting us. I look forward to it. I'll be up there early, as you know, and I'll be checking out and hang out with everybody. And I know, oh man, we got a bunch of people coming up. I know Scott's gonna be up there.
Oh,
Rita's
great.
gonna be up there. A bunch of my friends are going up there. I'm super excited to see Justin and them from Joint Damage and Sean, and meet all the new bands. Is there anything
Oh,
you want to
definitely.
plug before we get out of the door?
Well, yeah. Well, number one, this is for Homes for Our Troops.
Right
They
on.
build custom-made homes for severely injured post 9/11 veterans.
Oh, that's
They're on
crazy.
they're on their 400th home, and I did discover this because of Cobra Kai, the Cobra Kai kid, who does a podcast on Cobra Kai. He had one of the actors from the show, Barrett Carnahan, who plays a young John Kreese, who was a Vietnam vet, in the whole Karate Kid Miyagi verse saga. And they were doing stuff for Homes for Our Troops. And they're on 20 years.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Will, it says, Will, your drummer Salvatore's name is from my uncle who died in Nam at the age of 18. And I'm thinking
sorry to
that's
hear that.
I think that that's my drummer's dad, but I can't
Oh, wow.
confirm. It's either that or a really weird bot count. Like, how would they know that? I'll
Yeah,
just
I mean,
assume
hey,
that's the real thing.
yeah, you
Go
never
ahead.
know.
Go ahead. So you're
so-
saying that this is their 400th. They're on their 400 manufactured little occupied structure. I'm gonna have to go check this out.
Yes, yeah, because I just spoke to my contact there, Brianna Perry, who
Mm-hmm.
sent me that stuff that I unboxed in the long version of the video that I
Yes.
put out
Yes.
there. And we're gonna have some giveaways from Homes for Our Troops. You can get
Wow.
more information. Some bracelets. We have chapstick and these mini tape measures and stuff. But
I love it, man.
that's why, unfortunately, they can't attend because I think they're going to be in Florida or Idaho
Okay.
or something. So you can have the home anywhere, and it's not just kind of stuff like a low shelf or a ramp or something. If you want a hot tub, a swimming pool, or
Whoa.
you're into sculpting.
That's
or,
great.
you wanna have a tennis court or golf or whatever. Like, just they have it specifically
Oh
to your
man.
interest and needs, and then they will go beyond that and just check up on you as the years go by. I mean, people go back to school because of this, not just the soldiers, but their
Mhm.
caretakers.
Yeah.
And so there'll be more information about Homes for Our Troops there, and you can check out these videos that we put up. I included all the bands and the information about it online. We have a reel on Instagram and TikTok, and then we have two longer versions on YouTube of these videos of everyone giving a shout out, and military and veterans get in for free. So, like, hey, it's like that's the best deal, I think. You served our
Military
country,
and veterans get in free Saturday, you guys. That is
Yes.
wildin'.
so you're getting food, and you're getting to see live bands and all this stuff.
Now
it's
that
great.
doesn't mean don't nobody running out and getting into a war between now and Saturday and thinking you're going to show up and get free hamburgers from Van.
No, I mean,
Nah.
hey, maybe,
Peace
you
and
know what?
love.
How about if someone just passed their physical? I would be okay. Or if you just got.
If you guys make it to
West-
Charlie Bravo's this Saturday, I'll split my hamburger with you.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
I'll have-
yeah. So
Or it's either that or you can have Han's chewed up version. I'll let y'all chew on that for a while. Scott says, I will see you guys all at Bravo Fest. NYC Chapter Hive. Chapter is on the way. Can't wait to meet everyone in Sepsis. Nate, first show I will ever be at. And Nate, did you know that this is the first time we have ever had a guest here on the William versus the World live stream?
Wow.
So you're first. But I've got to go because right after this is our game night with ICG, Immaculate Connection Gaming. Wednesdays and Friday nights, we play Halo on Xbox Live.
Oh, that's sick, man. Thank you so much. I'm like outside. I feel like screaming it.
I mean,
William versus the world!
Oh, hold on. Let me do it again because I'm gonna end it on this. I'm gonna start the music, and then you can do the William versus the World part. I think that's great. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out on another episode of Nate.
William